What's up everyone, nethervvoid here with a new game to show you, Galactic Civilizations 3. It's a brand new game from Stardock. Galactic Civs 2 and 1 were also created by them. As far as I recall, I didn't really keep track of who was developing what when these other games came out, because Galactic Civ 2 came out 10 to 15 years ago or something, so it's been a long time since we've seen, you know, the next version of this game. So I'm just going to kind of do a first impressions review for you here. It's kind of both, but it's mainly first impressions. I've not played through a whole game yet, but you'll see all the cool features. I know most of the great features. I'm sure I'm missing a few things, which is pretty typical of like a first impressions. This game came out about a week ago, May 14th, and I wanted to get a video up for you to show it to you. I can still get kind of in on it while it's hot. It's $50 on Steam. It's a turn-based 4X strategy game, space strategy game. So we're going to go with new game real quick. There is multiplayer. There's a tutorial, which is decent. There's a campaign mode, which I did not play. That's kind of neat. I didn't see that. That's really cool. I might actually do a playthrough of that. Huh. This is part part of the tutorial too, I think. So I might do a playthrough of this. I'm not really sure. I haven't checked out the campaign mode yet. I've just done like a standard 4X game. So we're going to go into... There's a bunch of options in here. They're graphical options. The UI size small, which is probably fine. Full screen, what's cool about this is it's a windowed full screen. So even though it's full screen, there are no borders. I can click off of this and it doesn't reduce itself. I like that. Not really a lot of different features in here as far as video goes. In fact, I'm going to say, oh, you can't cancel out of it, huh? Well, back might do it. Sound options, these are pretty typical stuff here. It's a little light on the options, but it's fine. One thing I did was I took draw grid off. I don't want them to draw the grid, and you'll see why. Let's leave it on at first, and you'll see why. I don't like it in a minute. And again, this is a lot of my review and first impressions are personal preference. I know a lot of people say, well, you shouldn't put that in a review. Well, I don't know. I think if you're a fan of my channel, you know me. Probably you are fine with my personal beliefs. You don't have to agree with them. This is why I personally don't like the game. And I think there are no reviews that are just non-biased. You can't have a review that's made by a computer. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would be helpful. There are also gameplay options here. A quick move if you want something a little bit quicker. Enable mods. There are mods allowed in the game. That's kind of neat. I have not checked any of them out. Like for autosave, I like to do it every one turn, and that's probably because I do Let's Plays, and so one turn. There we go. I want it to save as often as possible in case my save gets corrupted. So we're gonna leave this draw grid on, and we're gonna do skip intro for this one. So we're done with that. Yeah, I don't really need graphical changes here. Let's do a new game real quick. So there are a lot of different races. The races are fairly different. They have different race traits. It's pretty normal here. There are humans, and they have abilities here. Shipyard production decays at half the normal rate. We'll talk about that in a minute. First improvement on all new colonies is free. That's kind of neat. That's actually a really good ability. Get your colonies up and running really fast. All positive racial traits as well, which is kind of interesting. I like these guys, the Your Singularity. They're machines, and really there are some kind of cool racial features here. I like that. You can also customize your own race. That's kind of neat. But these guys, since they're machines, they don't have a birth rate or anything. You have to actually produce population. You have to build it, which is kind of neat. And there are actually some built-in feuds kind of going on already. These guys, New Iconia, were kicked off their world by these guys. I think these guys created these guys, which is kind of interesting. The Iconians created the Yor, so I think it's kind of interesting that that's in place. So you can see these guys are mainly for war, which is kind of what I like. You know, if you've been on my channel for a while, you'll see that I really like to fight all the time. And so let's just pick these guys. So galaxy types, this is kind of neat. This gets insane is really insane. It's giant. If I did a Let's Play, I'd probably do it on medium or large, because if I did it on anything larger than that, it would just go on forever. And once you reach kind of technological domination, like, you don't need to go huge into all this. You really only need about this size. And then it's just kind of tedious killing off everybody, because nobody can keep up with you. I'm going to show you Insane just because I want you to see how large this freaking map is, okay? So tiny, tight clusters. We're going to go with the spiral because it looks cool. Galaxy options. There's a ton of options in here. Star frequency. We're going to put occasional. No, occasional. Thanks. Planet frequency abundant. I would go with probably common or maybe occasional. That's my preference. Habitable, you know, occasional, extreme planet, uncommon, that's fine. This is like frozen over or lava planets and stuff like that. Asteroid frequency, this is all like resources and things that'll kind of also get in your way. Black hole frequency, this seems to be too much. Let's put it uncommon. There's a lot of black holes in this thing. I don't know why. Maybe occasional's fine now. I think they patched it. So there's a lot of different options in here. We're going to leave this at default. Victory conditions, lots of different kinds. Crush your enemy. Influence, you can have more influence than anybody. Research, ascension, this is like you can research or find these parts of an ancient artifact. Reclaim essential crystals to ascend to a higher plane, so you can win that way. Alliance, use diplomacy to win. Defeat your foes before time runs out. You know me, I like to do conquest only, and I think this does gimp the AI, but I don't want someone to research their way to beat me, because if I'm warring them, they can't just be like, dude, we just out-researched you. You have to stop warring us now. We win, bro. I mean, that's not even realistic. So, to me, Conquest is the only way. Game settings, lots of different kind. Research rate normal. Galaxy difficulty beginner. You know, you can change this up into suicidal. I've never tried it, but I'm sure that's pretty tough. Pirate bases, this is pretty typical stuff. Opponents, this is what I don't like. You can't randomize your opponents. I think that's kind of essential, that you can hit random and not know who you're going to get. This game doesn't allow that. I don't know why. I've never seen a 4X that doesn't allow you to randomize. So we're only going to have 3 opponents in this one. And on Insane, that means we would probably be in late game before we really did anything to anybody. So let's talk about cool stuff. Let's get into the game now. We'll start a game here. And then we'll get into what I like that's cool. I like to do that first. And then secondly, I'll talk about what I think needs improvement. And then I have a tip in this one, a couple tips, and actually I put the tips in 2 different locations in my notes here, but that's interesting. And then I'll conclude with what I think about the game here. So as soon as it builds, hopefully the Fraps isn't killing itself. Sometimes when it's building maps, I know in some games like Fraps completely stops, and I get this weird time lag in the video. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Okay, so here we are, Iconian Legacy. Yeah, it gives you a little bit of backstory. So here's my single planet, right? This is my home world. I get a few ships to start out with. And see, there's the grid. I'll tell you why I don't like it in a sec. We'll leave it on for a sec. So this is like an explorer ship, kind of. It has 2 kinetic, 6 missile damage, and 1, I think that's laser damage. Pretty sure, or it's the opposite. I can't remember. But it's a survey ship. And then I get 1 scout ship, basically. And I get a colonization ship. And I also get a shipyard. This is where you build ships. So there are asteroids here. This is a special resource. I like that. There are special resources to fight over, like strategic resources. We're going to take my scout, and we're going to go this direction. That's a star. So we're going to see if we can find a colonizable home world here. We're going to take this guy, and go the other direction. Looks like I'm on the edge, possibly, here. So this is a world. These are worlds, but they're dead worlds. See, they're dead, 0. There are a lot of dead worlds in this game. That's probably pretty normal. And then something that I like, a tip, is when you hit... So if you hit enter and say, okay, I'm done. Actually, let's go to research. Let's pick some research. This is one of the things I think the game does really well. It has a really good tech tree. So resource locations are cool to fight over. It has a really great tech tree, I think. There are 4 different main trees here, all that do, handle different things. This is like... propagation, better buildings, better science, better research, better farms, things like that. Really upping your infrastructure. This is kind of the infrastructure tree. This is like the travel tree, kind of like with ships and stuff like that. You can see you get increase your ship's sensor range, survey module, things like that you can add to your ships. Increases ship moves, interstellar travel. Warfare is like all the weapons for the ships, things like that. It's kind of neat. Shields, things like that. And then you've got interaction, which is like all diplomacy and everything like that, which is kind of cool. I like the tree is giant. I mean, look at this. I love that. That's definitely... This game excels at that. A lot of times, a game's replayability focuses on learning the quickest path to get to the things you want so you can beat everybody's ass, right? And so this is going to make it kind of difficult to get to figure that out. Look at all these. That's awesome. I love that. I like games that are kind of difficult to figure out. They're easy, and this is what we've talked about in other, especially for Elite Dangerous. I like the game. It's simple to get into, but it's hard to master. Easy to pick up, hard to master. That's the best kind of game design there is. You can disagree with that, but I think most people agree that that's the best kind of game design. I don't want to have to read 300-page manuals to start the game. I want to be able to start the game and have some fun while I start, but over time, maybe 3 months or so, it should take me to master the game or so if I play it kind of a lot. So first I'm going to go with collective manufacturing. This is going to upgrade my manufacturing buildings, and this is also an upgrade to science. There's a lot of science upgrades in here too. So I'm going to upgrade my infrastructure a lot up this tree. This is my preferred way to start. I've played a few times up to like level turn 100 or so or more. And I really think this is the best place to start on the tree because it helps you with research like immediately. So let's go with that. And let's look at Iconia. We have an empty queue here on our planet. So let's go down to the planet. This is kind of neat too. Because your buildings, the buildings that are adjacent to each other can help give each other bonuses. Also, some of these tiles will give bonuses to whatever's located in it, or whatever's in it. The reported location of this original scout set foot on this world. I don't know what that does. It doesn't say. So that's a food plane that's going to help food. We don't care about food. Build here will draw tourists. So probably I don't care about that either right now. What's this? Oh, okay. This is a special trade resource. Ship range plus 5%. The pollen of this rare flower can be used to refine promotion gas. It's +2 to level to military to adjacent building. So when I put a military building here, that's going to give it +2 levels. So it's going to make it a lot more potent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this is a great spot to connect a lot of different, actually this is a great spot to connect a lot of different resource buildings, because there are some buildings that affect like assembly. No, that's not it. I'm sorry. I don't have it yet. There's a couple of buildings that only affect the buildings adjacent to it. So what I'm going to do is build a manufacturing building here, build, and then I'm going to build a research building here, build, okay? So I'm going to build another manufacturing, like if I built one here, see how it's +1? They grant each other +1. So I'm going to do that next, but I'm not going to do it yet, okay? But that would be what I would do. And I'm going to put a research building here, and you'll get a bonus from that. Now when I put a building here that affects only adjacent buildings, it'll upgrade all of these buildings. It's kind of neat. So we're going to go with that. We've got 2 things in our queue. We're done. You can see the queue here. Our shipyard queue has nothing in it because we're not building ships yet. And we'll talk about that in a second. So I'm not going to be sure I'm going to be able to show you star bases. I really like those. You can customize the ship design. Let's go into that real quick. Let's go into the shipyard here. No, we already saw that. Let's go into the shipyard. A couple of things I like about the shipyard right off the bat is this is one of the coolest features of this game, I think. So this shipyard is being sponsored by this one planet, okay? They send a portion of their build resources to the shipyard, okay? Right now they're sending half. You can see they have 8.3 available and sending 4.1 if there's something in the queue. Right now there's nothing in the queue, so it won't send anything, okay? I don't know what this icon is. I thought when I moused over it would tell me. Available manufacturing. Yeah, it's telling you 4.1. Now, there's some distance. So, what you can do with these is you can add up to 5 planets that can send part or all of their production to the shipyard to build ships. So that's actually really cool. Because shipyards, if you think about it, building a ship should be a pretty monumental thing, even for the pretty advanced civilization. You're not going to be pumping huge ships out, every 2 seconds or something, right? And so multiple worlds contribute to shipbuilding. That makes a lot of sense, and it makes it a lot more fun. You can see 1 out of 5 sponsors, okay? So what you can do, so we're going to put done there, and we're going to build a seed ship. This is a colonization ship. You can see it's going to take 28 turns at the current 4 production per turn. So we'll add one of those to the queue, 28 turns. You can see the stats up here. You can also go in here and design. So let's say I was like, wow, that ship is going to be kind of costly. Why don't we go in here and build a new seed ship? The Seed Mark II that I built. Here's the Seed Mark I, okay? Manufacturing costs 116. 91, because this one has less range. This one has more, you can see the modules it has down here, more life support. Mine only has 1. So its range is not very far. I have the same amount of hyperdrives too, I think, which is the max on this ship. I'm not positive on that. And I have a colony module, which you can see here, right? All those add to the production cost of the ship. But I don't have all the life supports, and I don't have a sensor on there, because when a colony ship flies in, it shouldn't really need sensors. It should know what it's already doing. So that's why this one is cheaper. But you can go in and customize it. I don't know. You can make these larger and smaller too. So let's customize a ship. New design. Let's give it a hull. Hulls. Tiny hulls. Let's do a cargo hold. Let's do the colony ship. Okay, so it's blank. Can we turn it? I can't remember. Yes, we can. So I'm using the middle mouse button. In and out, zooms in and out, and then hold it to turn it like this. So what we can do is everything on here has hard points. So let's add some equipment to it. Maybe yeah, hyperdrives. You can see these are all the snap-in points. So we'll put hyperdrives. I don't know. Let's make them fairly realistic here, I guess, kind of. Let's put the hyperdrives, and I wonder if we can mirror it. I like those hard points right there. But what we can do is make the scale a little bit bigger. If we want like larger hyperdrives, make it look sweeter. This doesn't actually do anything to the stats. It just makes it look cooler. So we'll put one there too. There we go. So you can see there's a maximum number of build points you can put on this thing. I just added 10 per, right? I think. Now I think now it's at 20 because I added those 2 hyperdrives. So that's, you can see the range went up and things like that. The speed, how fast, how many turns it has, moves per turn, stuff like that. So let's go with, we don't want any weapons, defenses. You can't put that on this hull type anyway. Let's put a colony module on. Right? So we're only going to put 1. I think we can mirror it, but I can't remember how to do that. Scale, rotate, offset, proportional scaling. So if you want to move it, like, let's see. I want to shrink this down a little bit. Maybe we'll just put it here. So we've got a colony module. Now that almost filled it up. We'll put a life support on there too. So the range should go up pretty far. 24.6. Let's see. I want to add the life support right here in the front. How come it won't snap in? There we go. Let's make it a little bit larger. It looks kind of like pretty tiny. So 24.6, 36.9. That's a lot better. We can add more, but again, it's going to add manufacturing cost. Every time I add something, it adds manufacturing cost. Constructor module. What this can do is you can make ships that you can build that can either colonize or become a starbase. I don't know why you would do this, but you could do it. It won't attach. Oh, because it doesn't have enough space for it. Prototype survey module. That way you can survey artifacts, and it's basically finding a ruins, but you need a survey module to actually go to the ruins and, you know, get the tech or get the money that it will generate. So we aren't going to do that. Well, that's basically how I built the Seed Mark II there. So pretty cool. This is more hit points. I don't really care too much, but let's add it just to see what it does. 25. That's actually a lot more hit points. Manufacturing cut. So let's look at hit points here. 25. Let's get out of design mode. Let's cancel out of design mode. Seed Mark I has 10. So this thing's going to get wasted like right away. But that's fine because it's not supposed to be fighting. So that's how you design ships. That's kind of neat. Personally, I like the Star Drive 2 version of designing ships, but this is still really neat. It's a lot better than other 4Xs where you can't do any kind of customization. So that kind of beats those guys out, no problem. But again, all this stuff was in Galciv 2, so I'm not... The ship designing stuff was in Galciv 2, not anything new. So, you know, it is what it is, though. But the Starbase thing is definitely pretty cool. I don't know if they had the sponsors in Galciv 2 or not. You'll have to tell me in the comments section here. So let's see if we can also build a Starbase. Maybe I should just build one of those first. So let's build a build ship here. Seed, we're going to remove that. Cancel that one. We're going to do a build ship. This is how you build, you can see it has a constructor module on it. It's how you build a Starbase. And that's how you get these resources. You build a Starbase. This is one of the things a Starbase can do, is collect resources, these strategic resources. So we're going to build that. But we want all the manufacturing to go to the Starbase, so let's go in here to govern. This is where you can tell your whole economy what to build. You can go to money, production, or science, and you can just basically move this around. You can see it changes things down here. That's kind of neat. We're going to go with all science and production right now. In fact, since I just want to build that constructor ship immediately, let's go like that with manufacturing. And then if I go this way, I will build only buildings on my planet for the sponsors. This is how much of my production is going to the starport, or the basically construction of ships. So we're going to put 100%. All 25 is going to building ships. Now let's look at, so we can look at all our colonies. We've got 1, happiness and everything. This is pretty normal stuff. This will show you all the ships you have in production, things like that, where the ships are going. Trade with other civilizations, and the timeline. It's kind of interesting that you can look at the timeline as you go through the game, but I guess that's pretty normal. I don't know. It seems like possibly cheating if you don't want to know like how good you're doing against others. So we got 5 turns to build that. So let's do this. Let's just hit enter. So if you hit enter, so you can see I haven't given the seed ship anything to do. And the game's telling me, look, you need to give this thing something to do. It will not let me skip it. I think there's a way to skip it. My favorite way to do it is to go into the dev debug panel, which you push the button above tab, which I think is tilde. Now we're in the debug console, and you put in turn. Now it skips that desire to force you to do something with that ship, and I can just hit enter, and it'll go to the next turn. Now you have to watch it, because if you finish, this disables all end of turn notifications, like if you haven't done something. So you could be not researching. You need to watch your research now, because it's not going to tell you if you don't have anything researched and you hit enter. So we'll hit enter. We're going to go to turn 2. Everybody should be moving in next turn now. So you can see we're getting some, the queue is filling up here. Let's keep going. What other things do I like? I like that the map has a lot of barriers to it. It has like asteroids, and you can see this is like a gas cloud, and sensors, like tactical movements reduced and sensors are reduced. It's kind of neat. Gives a lot of more tactical play to combat and stuff like that. I also like that the AI is a little more realistic as far as diplomacy. If you trade them stuff, they trade you things. Like if you trade them tech, they'll just start giving you tech. They're like, you're our friends, we're going to give you tech. Oh, we found a world. Sarconorus 1, it's a paradise. It's a really nice world. It's radioactive, though, and it's negative 50% to total production, and actually I can't colonize this because it's radioactive. So until there's, I think there's a tech where I can clean that up, but for now, we basically can't use that planet. So space junk, I can take this surveyor. This actually it says survey ship. This has a survey module on it, and I can actually survey these ruins and stuff that I find. So I'm going to go do that. My scout's still moving. We should get a constructor ship in 2 turns. So I found another world. So yeah, I already talked about how I love how shipyards work. So we got 12 gold in the treasury. It's not very good. Didn't find much, but you know, it's not supposed to be game-breaking, right? There's a star. Memory of Dream. I love the names in this place. It's not like 42567. Like, everything has a name. Memory of Dream. This is a white dwarf. It probably went supernova or something. Or, I'm sorry, did not go supernova, because white dwarfs that go supernova are black holes. This probably just burned out into a red giant and then reduced into a white dwarf. Suns that do not have more than... I think it has to have more than 1.4 mass of our own sun can go supernova after that. I can't remember the exact number. No, that's not true. I'm not even going to talk about it because I don't know the exact details. I used to know a lot more about supernova than I do. I just need to brush up on it. So here's a red giant. It looks like a red giant, Ishta. So far, no planets to colonize over here. And technically nothing over here as well. Why don't we go this way so we can maybe see something over here as well. So we built a ship. There's a constructor ship. So what I'm going to do is pull it into about right there, and I'm going to build something with it. That's its range, okay? So what it does within this range, it can mine anything in this range. So if you have 2 or 3 resources in here, you want to get it in the middle. Also, what it does is it can adds bonuses to to the colonies you have near it. So you want to also do that. So we're almost there. We're going to construct a starbase soon, and we're doing nothing. So why don't we do this? Let's go back to manufacturing. Let's slide this all the way back to social. And then let's do some science as well. Let's put it at 50-50. There we go. So, any other things I like? Bonuses to where you place your planet improvements. I've already talked about that. I really love that too. And again, the AI is really kind of cool. It's more realistic. I actually felt like they were trying to be friendly because they were like, hey, we're your friends. Here's a tech. And then they'll come to you and they'll say, hey, we need something. Can you give us, you know, tech, or can you give us something? I liked that too. So I think we're in position. Let's build a starbase. We'll go to command, construct starbase. We can also construct shipyard, so you don't, like, you can go into your planet and construct a shipyard. It'll build it near your planet, or you can use a constructor ship and construct a shipyard pretty far away. The one thing about shipyards is the further away from the planet that's sending it build points or construction points, there's a decay to it. So if it's too far away, it will take a lot longer to build starships. And I think that's good because you can't just plop down a starbase in your enemy's backyard and start pumping ships out like it's going out of style. There's going to be some kind of diminishing returns, which I think is a great idea. So we're going to go with construct starbase. We don't care about that. So now we have a starbase, okay? This isn't doing anything. It does have some defensive benefits. You can see it can defend itself. It has some hit points. We're going to go with manage right here. This is just, you know, it's nothing right now. It has no special modules. So you can kind of tell it what its role is going to be. Is it going to be a military type shipyard so that anything fighting inside this thing gets a bonus, basically? Dedicate starbase to protecting your civilization and its assets. I think it's a bonus to the starbase. I'm not positive on that, but because I actually haven't done anything but the mining one. Economy 1, total production plus 10%. I think it's anything in its range gets 10% to all these kind of bonuses here. Cultural ring, influence growth, and mining ring. This is where it's going to help you mine those special resources. We're going to pick that. We're going to double click. So now it's a mining starbase. You can see it got the mining ring here. So what you can also do is you can upgrade these things. You can request another constructor ship to come out, and you can add like special defenses. You can upgrade the defenses and upgrade other things about this mining base. It's kind of neat. So we're going to go with done. And now we're mining this. You can see it changed its shape a little bit. It's a mining specialization. And it's going to mine this Durantium. Here's another Durantium we could go get. We just need to put a starbase there. So one of the things I kind of... Now let's talk about the things I don't really like too much about the game. And I can't show you some of it because we haven't gotten into... So there's a world. So yeah, we're mining our first set of Durantium. You can see that's the path that we're mining it through. And you can see the special resource up here. Pretty nice. So here's a planet. It's a paradise. That's good. Shrouded. So we get +3 planetary defense, but 25% to influence growth. So we're going to go colonize that. Click the colony ship, right-click the world, and we set a path. We're good to go. So let's keep moving around. We might find a better planet than that. They do exist. There are better planets than that. I'm not really seeing any. So let me show you the size of Insane, okay? It's ridiculous. So now we're almost done building research yore. Collective manufacturing, not done yet. We've got to watch those queues pretty close. Queue empty. So let's build another manufacturing yore there. You can see we get a bonus. And we're going to build it in 3 turns. That's awesome. So we're done. We just finished researching. Okay, choose tech tree. So we've got this now. We've got this, which gives us a new type of a possible upgrade to our manufacturing center. What that does is you don't have to build a new manufacturing center. It will spend time to upgrade what you currently have. It costs production, and you'll see it goes in the queue. You'll see in a sec. So we're going to go with, we get these specializations. It's an option. You can only pick one, and you never can pick another one. So we're going to go with research specialization. This will improve our research by 10% across the board. I don't see how you can not pick that. You'd be kind of stupid not to, in my opinion. Research is a big deal in all 4X games, so I don't know why you wouldn't do it. So we're going to move on. We're going to move ahead. And you can see Research Collective. Everything's upgrading now because we got an upgrade to this as well. So it's gonna upgrade this building to the next level up of science. And you'll see the building change. It actually did these as well. Manufacturing Collective, right? It's going to try to upgrade these. You can see that what they look like changed. This one as well. The icon changes. So we've got those already in the queue. It places them immediately into the queue. We're almost there. Ooh, here are some good planets too. This is a lush. It's a little bit smaller. It can't hold as much population, but it has plus 50% to tourism and 25% to morale. That's pretty nice. What's this one? Social manufacturing and tourism. That's a really great world. Low gravity. So now we need probably to start to produce... we probably need to start producing some seed 2s. Because we found new worlds to colonize. Now we're going to switch this back to all military. You have to grab a little bar. There we go. And we also want to... Well, we want to do science too. Take 6 turns. Let's just pump those out immediately. Let's go with the 100%. That should get them done really quick. Yeah, 3 turns now. I want to get those ships out and done. I don't want to wait around. So we're going to call this just Memory of Dream because I don't think there are any other planets around here. So sweet, first colonized extra world. So there's another thing I didn't talk about. I'm going to go with this, Malevolent, and I'll talk about this in a second. You can do affinities, okay? Here's my new planet. This is a really spread out world. That's interesting. Well, right here I know I can put... Because I'm going to eventually be able to terraform this square, so this can connect a bunch of stuff. I'll get another terraformation, and I can do a whole bunch of stuff right here. So we're going to put manufacturing here. I'm going to get a bonus from my capital. And then I'll put a research one here. There we go. Done. That's kind of the typical start for me. So you can see why I don't like the grid on. So we're going to go to options. I'm going to turn that grid off. And you'll see why. Because to me, the game is already very meta. See how zoomed out I am? It's very icons and spreadsheet-ish. And for personally, that kind of makes the game feel a little, not dead, but it's very meta. It's a very meta game. A spreadsheety game and calculated type game. That's one thing, in my opinion, Star Drive 2 is kind of made me, it's kind of made me feel a little spoiled in the fact that it's so beautiful. You know, the background's really rich. The planets are very rich looking. You're zooming into the planets all the time. I just like the interface more. And that's definitely personal preference. It has nothing to... I'm not knocking the game because I don't like the interface as much. It really is personal preference. So, let's see. We've got... Everything's good there. We can set our sights on whatever's next here. Do we have anything for our scout to do? I don't think we do. Why don't we go... this way, and I think this guy's done too. Why don't we have him? Why don't we send him that way? Another white dwarf. So we've got ships coming out. Now you load your ship with people from your planet, and it actually drops the pop. So now Iconia too. Iconia dropped its population by 2. Now to get more population, since I'm Yor, I need to build them. So you gotta have to watch out because that can drain your pop down, and if my pop's not going to be growing by itself. I have to actually grow it, you know. I have to tell it to grow. I have to build it. So we're going to do one more seed ship with 2, and you can see that it took 3-4 turns now because I lost some pop. Dead world, that's fine. Another resource over here. We've got one here too. I'll probably build another Starbase over there if I was going to keep playing, but I don't think I'm going to do a playthrough of this because I have so many other things going on. I don't know yet. Let me know in the comment section if you want to see a playthrough of this. I have another game I want to try out. I'll probably be showing it to you. I just bought it off Steam. It's like $10. This game is $50 on Steam, released a week ago. And for that reason, when I get to the conclusion, I'll tell you whether or not I like that. Let's go. So we got another seed ship. Let's go with 2 pop again. This sends 2 pop to the new world. So your world will start with 2 pop. Let's go this way, and let's send this guy to here. And then we're going to go back to constructing on our other worlds and to science here. 50-50, and we'll take this off. There we go. So now what I can do is go into the Shipyard and edit sponsors and add this guy as a sponsor for when I'm building ships. That'll speed up the process. Okay, so we're going to keep going. We're almost done with this video. We need something to scout out, huh? Let's go this way. This is good. Oh, and we should be watching this queue. Because again, it won't tell us if we're not building something. So, yes, I'll leave the numerical indicator because there are 2 planets in this system. Oh, I forgot to tell you the affinity thing. So, I get carried away because we get to this screen and I kind of start freaking out a little bit. There's so much to do in this game, I start to forget. Done. Okay, so, ideology. Now, there are 3 different things to do here. I really kind of like this system as well. This is the good guys, basically. You're really nice and good and everything. You get bonuses for going up these different paths. This is kind of a neutral stance here. And then Malevolent is the evil one. This is what I like. So I'm going to go through this. This actually gives you manufacturing bonuses. I want that because I want to be able to build up my empire really quickly. And so I needed 20 points, 20 ideology points to get this. And I need 20 to get this, 20, 20, and then this one's 20. I thought I needed 50. Interesting. But I want to go all the way up this because I get 25% to all manufacturing. That's insane. So look through this, pick what you want. This is more of an evil type stance. I think it does affect diplomacy. So you have to take that in consideration. Civilization Beyond Earth is a lot like that too. If you pick a different ideology, it ruffles the feathers of others that are of a different ideology. So here's another special resource. Antimatter. There are special buildings that can be produced with this. There are also special ship modules that can be produced with these special resources. I have one right now. I could build one building that needs one of these resources. Okay, so pretty cool little system. That's pretty normal though. Everybody's building, so we can hit go. Everybody's still building. Got to watch our queues really closely because I've told it, look, I'm not stupid. Take it off stupidity. So I got that. Let's go with industrial. And again, I like to build all the way up in here before I do anything else because I want to get my systems building for me very quickly, especially since I'm more of a war-based kind of a guy. I want to be able to pop warships out. Now, this isn't going to do me very good because I have not done any... Let's look at tech. I have not done any engineering to get different hull sizes or any warfare to get better weapons. So I can only build like the really crappy ships from the start. But again, I'm pumping up my meta, right? I'm pumping up my macro, my industry. I'm playing a macro game right now. So you can see I'm getting upgrades now. They're upgrading my stuff. This has already been upgraded. We're going to upgrade this next, and then that's already been upgraded as well. So once that happens, I'll be able to do something different, like probably build some other stuff here. So this is kind of neat. Increases the raw production of a planet. Total production +4, and then also +3 to level to manufacturing of adjacent buildings. So like if I put that here, it adds 3 levels to these. Okay, so that beasts them out. I mean, they get ridiculous. These also boost this. Actually, this manufacturing improvement too. So this adds 3 levels to these buildings. It's crazy, but it doesn't help this. There's another building that I'm going to get. No, that's not it. I think it's something I have to research. But it'll upgrade everybody by +2, I think. And so it really pumps everybody up. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to leave this in the queue for now. So really cool way to, build buildings and really manage your planets and stuff. This video is just about over. I think I've pretty much told you everything there is to know about the game that I know about the game. Pretty interesting game. It's still fun. It's just that, I don't know, I think Star Drive is really kind of up the ante for me. This feels a lot like Gal Civ 2. Don't feel like really a lot of extra features to this game. It feels just like a reboot of Gal Civ 2 but with updated graphics and stuff, which is good, but if you played Gal Civ 2, it's not going to feel different enough possibly to play it again. If you haven't played Gal Civ 2 in a long time, you'll probably want to at least do one playthrough. But in my opinion, so let's see, uncool stuff that I didn't really get to talk about. Combat's scripted, and you haven't seen combat because we haven't done it yet. But combat, you don't get to, again, a new world, we're going to say wipe out the natives, blah, blah, blah. We get 10 malevolent for that. This gives you plus 10% productivity, so you could do that. And there's different bonuses. You might want to pick that. But then again, you don't get malevolent points, right? So you get productivity, but you get negative 10% approval. I'm pretty sure this sticks to the planet, this planet the whole time. So, I don't know. It depends on what you want. I'm going to go with Malevolent because I want to increase my, the type of, I want to increase Malevolence. So, we're going to go with, actually, we'll go this way, right? So, we're going to go with manufacturing here and research here. We'll do that. There we go. New planet there. So, I have 4 colonies now. So, you can't, now this guy has nothing to do because he's done. So we'll build another one of these. We'll be good. I don't really like that. So the combat's scripted. When you get in a fight, it just shows you the fight. It calculates it for you. There's nothing you can do. It just basically rolls the dice and see who wins. I don't like that kind of combat. I like to have control over my combat. A lot of 4X games you can control the combat a lot better. Even in Civ games, while you can't personally make them fight and move the units around, it's not very tactical. You do have some, it does have some tactics on the map as far as shooting, you know, protecting your archers with melee and stuff like that, and, you know, how do you position your catapults and things like that. This game doesn't have as much of that, and so to me, that's kind of a ding on the game. I really want to control the combat a lot better in Star Drive 2, even though technically it's not very, you can't control it that much. You can control it, so I like that. I don't like it in this game that you can't. It's very scripted. The names of bonuses and tech improvements are very generic, and it can be difficult to figure out what you're doing. Like industrial specialization, well, I would think that only really has improvements to industry, but you actually get a science bonus in here, so that doesn't make any sense to me. Construction optimization, research optimization, power matrix focus, I have no idea what this is. You can read the little tooltip, which is good, but it's a little bit difficult to kind of figure it out. The main thing is, I like to be able to figure it out on my first playthrough. I like to kind of already know what I'm doing. But it's not a huge ding. It's just kind of a minor inconvenience. Again, the tech tree is so awesome, I guess it's kind of... definitely, the tech tree is so great that it makes it kind of not a big deal. You can't randomize opponents. We already talked about that. Not really a fan of that. I do like randomized opponents. Feels a little bland. Again, it's very meta. It doesn't feel like it has... It doesn't feel like it has character to me. Again, that's a personal preference. If you don't mind metagames, or you like metagames, it's fine. I'm kind of more of a fan of having the feel of the game, or having a little bit more depth of story and things like that, and this feels more of a spreadsheety type game, which again, it's a personal preference. But those are the things I think I'm not too fond of the game about. And then I have to watch these queues. They kind of grow like pretty long. There's a lot of queuing in this thing. Let's build another research thing here. Let's get our research going. I think overall for 50 bucks, I don't know if I'd buy this game. It's good. It's definitely better than Civ BE in my opinion. Again, these are all my opinions. Civ BE is not as good as this game, especially since Civ BE is supposed to be a space game and it's on one planet. It's basically Civ 5 with space stuff, future stuff. It's not even... Anyway, don't get me started. Star Drive 2, in my opinion, again, is better than this game because it has more customization as far as the shipbuilding. I like the shipbuilding better in Star Drive 2. I have more control over it. I like the combat better because I can actually, you know, tell ships where to go, pull ships back, maybe move them forward, move my tank ships up, and pull back my, you know, sniper ships and stuff like that. You can't do that in this game. You can't build your ships to have those kind of roles. But it's still a great game. I really do like this game. I think it's pretty cool. If I didn't play Star Drive 2, if I wasn't playing that right now, this would probably be the game I was playing. Because it is pretty cool. It's 50 bucks though, so that's really up to you whether you buy it or not. To me, if it was 30 bucks, I would probably say to buy this game. That would be a good value for the money, I think. With so much more indie stuff coming out, $50 games like 4X games like this are going to be harder to sell, in my opinion, just because there's so many indie options out there that are really good. So I think the more AAA titles like this are just going to have a harder time. Also because I don't feel like they added a lot of new great features to this game over Galactic 2. It really is a hard time paying 50 bucks for it. It kind of feels like, because I think people are feeling kind of ripped off with the Civ line, with BE and the way EA's running the Civ. I think EA does it, right? Pretty sure EA's running that IP now. But people are pretty pissed off with the way Civ's working right now, and this feels a little similar to that, where I don't feel like I'm getting a lot of improvement over the last game. It just feels like the same. But, you know, if you like this game, buy it. I'm not saying don't buy it. It has relatively few bugs, none that I've really seen. It runs really well. Tactically, the map's set up pretty cool. There's a lot of great features to like in this game. So, it's up to you. If you like the features, buy the game. If you are like me and you're like, wow, those features you say are not cool, or really aren't cool to me, then don't buy it. You know, it's up to you. I want to know what you think in the comment section. Let me know what you think. I probably will run a little series on this. I do like it enough to maybe play a medium or small map, just to do like 15 or 20 episodes and be done with this series. I do want to play it some and put it on my channel because I do like 4X games, but I have a couple things in the hopper too, and so we'll see. Anyway, let me know what you think, and as always, everyone, stay frosty.